Presentation on TNN, the National Network.
Brought him in time, the man in the white mask, and as we've mentioned throughout this playoff series, he and Lindsey Middlebrook, probably both the most valuable players for their respective teams through the playoffs. That's what you need, good goaltending.
Garcia put it right in the breadbasket on him too. He put it right in the middle.
Well, Forrest, believe it or not, when you get a shot like that, I've been told most hockey players, you get a bad angle, you waste one. You waste one high. You get the goalie thinking. Next time Ian may slide it right along the ice and he'll go in the net.
Port Huron comes up with the face-off in their own zone. Top low ahead to Gary Rissling. Rissling over the blue line. He waits, tries to send it ahead for Michel Plot, but Michel Lorando takes it for Toledo. Lenny Fontaine flying in, near side boards, backhand around the net. Top low, and now Ralston has it, but Nathy's able to pick up a loose puck. Oh, too far for Sullivan. Wow, Lorendo's shot is kicked out by Boutin. The Diggers with some good chances. Michel, backhand. Nathy can't get it, it's kicked out. Can't clear it, however. Port Huron, it's kept in by Toledo, but Port Huron finally comes up with it. Tom Ralston's shot goes wide. The fog very heavy down in the Toledo zone. Fontaine comes up with it. In center ice for Toledo. Fontaine dumps it behind the net. Boutin will stop it there for Les Auger. Auger up on the near side boards, too far, taken away from him by Eruzione. Comes to neutral ice, sent in offside by Randy Moans. Stoppage of play. Face off in center ice. Just underway in the third period with the Diggers lead at 2-0. Back in a moment. This is Turner Cup hockey.
I love that.
And as we get back to action here at the sports arena, we have an all skate.
Snowball.
They're trying to clear out some of the fog on the arena ice that is really getting heavy now because of the temperature and the humidity and the combination thereof. We're just a minute and a half into the third period of the hockey game, and the Diggers are out in front 2-1. A reminder that the banquet will be held tomorrow night for the Diggers at the Embers at 6:30. That's just across the Michigan line on Telegraph Road. The Embers tomorrow night at 6:30. The Diggers Boosters Club banquet. We're ready to go again.
In center ice, Francois Vachon dumps it into the Port Huron zone. Auger clears it out. No, he can't clear it. Finally does, however, to Gustafson. Gustafson takes it in through the fog. His shot blocked by Vachon. Ball Nicholson and Scully in the corner. Vachon comes up with it. Around the boards, Henderson has it. He's bumped by Eruzione. Eruzione leaves it for Randy Moans. Henderson takes it back. They bump along the near side boards on a stoppage of play in the Toledo zone.
I think Archie has trouble seeing the puck in this fog. He's so tall that it must be a long look down to the ice.
Archie may be the only one to see over the fog. It's rather thick down there.
They should put a red light in his top and let it blink so he can be like a lighthouse.
You could borrow that hat off of that fan down there just to the right of the Port Huron bench. The Digger fan who turns around every now and again, especially when the Diggers score. Looks like the goal light.
Don't make fun of him. He has the trouble seeing the puck all the time, I think. Gillinardo comes up for Toledo. Ahead for Moans. Over his stick. Goes behind the net. Boutin clears it all the way to the far side. Paul Nicholson tries to clear it. Cannot. Barry Scully has it. Scully shoots backhand. Pad saved by Boutin. He gathers in the loose puck. And another fine effort.
Barry Scully's been thwarted twice tonight. And that doesn't happen very often, Horace. He's been the hottest scorer in the league since January.
They're going to skate around once more to clear the fog. So while they do that, let's take this time out. This is Turner Cup hockey.
Port Huron has the momentum.
think it does.
You look at it from their angle, they got to score. Once again, we're into the all-skate to clear the fog off the ice. If the Toledo Gold Diggers go on to win tonight, we will be having a parade in downtown Toledo on Friday morning at 10:30. What did he say? I told somebody to point the fans toward the ice, I think.
I think they turned them towards themselves.
Yeah. We're ready to go once again at 17:47 on the clock. Diggers out in front, 2-1 face-off in the flag zone.
Faulkner takes the face-off for Port Huron. Having trouble clearing it. Still behind their own line is Brent Trombley. Trombley from behind his own net to Jim Bannatyne. Port Huron starting out. In the center out. Bannatyne's long shot is kicked wide by Middlebrook. Into the corner, Tannerdini along with Ellicott. Jim McCabe backhands it down the ice, and Port Huron will have to retreat to their own zone. Larry Gould sends it up for Faulkner in neutral ice. Jim McCabe has it, but he's in offside, so the faceoff will stop in neutral ice.
Doug pointed out that perhaps, if he is right, if the Flags have the momentum at the moment, this stopping to clean the ice off, clean the fog off the ice, maybe in the favor of the Toledo Gold Diggers, kind of cutting that momentum for the Flags. I just hope the Flags don't have the momentum at the moment. It's a very hard thing to see, momentum.
At center ice, Dave Faulkner has it put onto his stick. Where did it go? It's out there someplace. The fog is really thick in the Toledo zone. Tannerdini found it. He set it to McPhee at center ice. Backhands it into the Port Huron zone. Port Huron tries to center it. They do. Ellicott up to Faulkner. His shot goes into the corner. McPhee has it there. Ian McPhee. Back to Horvath. McPhee once again with the puck on the far side. Ian McPhee brings it over. Far side board to Tannerdini. It's taken away by Faulkner, who does a beautiful poke check up on the point. And Gould clears it for Port Huron. It's on the stick of Larry Gould. Gould at the blue line. Back to Auger. Auger shot saved by Lindsey Middlebrook. He sends it into the fog. And who is that? That's Johnny Horvath ahead for Fontaine. Dupar, and Port Huron comes up with it. Ralston shot kicked out by Lindsey Middlebrook. Ralston gets the shot right back off the boards into the corner. Tannerdini comes up with it out of the fog. Over the red line. Ahead to Nathy. Comes off his skate. Into neutral ice. Wrestling. Bumping with Tannerdini, and Port Huron has it. Les Auger. Auger at center ice. Ahead to Ralston. Fontaine sends it over for Joe Nathy. Nathy can't get past Reed Bailey, who turns Port Huron out. Reed Bailey over the blue line. Drops for Wrestling. Back for Bailey. Into the slot. And somehow it's knocked away and goes up into the crowd. We'll be back in a moment. This is Turner Cup Hockey.
How did they get up to them? And we're back once again. It's 2-1. The Diggers are out in front of the Port Huron Flags, and you'll be seeing the news coming up tonight immediately following the hockey game with Jeff Heitz, Joe Ashton on the weather, and the always charming Mike Smythe will be there in my stead tonight doing the sports, have a little recap of tonight's hockey game, and tell you all about how the Toledo Gold Diggers won the Turner Cup for the second time. Tomorrow on the big show, it's Sandra Dee and Cliff Robertson starring in Gidget. It's the story of the original Beach Bunny as she adopted a mascot by some surf riding college boys, finds romance in the dunes, and uncovers some of those true wisdom and maturity that she's looking for. See Gidget at 3:30 tomorrow on the big show here on Toledo 11. By golly, and we got a ball game for you Friday night. First Friday night baseball game of the season. So you join us for that as the red-hot Detroit Tigers take on the equally red-hot Boston Red Sox. No, they don't either. Who are you kidding? No. Are they playing Boston? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Sure they are. 7:30 Friday night here on Toledo 11. The Tigers and the Boston Red Sox from Fenway Park in Boston. The fog is clearing away, and we're back to action.
Shot by Toplow, high over the net with 15:22 remaining, third period of this one. Horvath trying to wheel out. Nicholson sends it wide as he took it away. Horvath has it deep in the corner. Archie Henderson bothering him. Sends it along the boards for Ruzioni. Toledo starts out. Moans, his pass. Scully back onside, and Moans dumps it in. Jim Ballantyne, the captain of the Port Huron Flag. He starts out. Ahead for Gustafson. Back to Scully. Scully will dump it in. It's on Moan's stick. Moans looking for help. Sends it back to Scully. Scully shoots, score. Oh!
All right, and there, fans, is a big goal. Oh boy, what a happy bunch the Toledo goal diggers are. Take a look at it again. As
Nice
he
pass,
somehow
nice pass
got it
by
through Bouton.
Between his legs, John, between his legs.
Yes, sir. You don't get too many past Rolly Bouton, but he did that time. Barry Scully gets the third goal of the night for the goal diggers with the assist going to Randy Moan. And for Scully, so far this in the playoffs, that is his 12th goal, and that makes him the leading goal scorer in the playoffs. He has 23 points. And the Diggers, a happy bunch down there. Ted Garvin talking to Paul Tannardini right at the moment.
I think he's telling Paul now, Paul, no stupid penalties. Let's play hockey.
Well, now with a 2-goal margin, you talk about playing defense. You do have a goal to work with.
That's right, John. You got it. You got to send. Teddy's telling him right now, one man in, pick up the wingers. Let's play it from now on in. Let's play defensive. I think he's going to go that way. A 2-goal game, the way Lindsay's playing, is a pretty big lead right now.
One thing that bothers me, Doug Mahood, is the fact that they really haven't bothered to clear the fog from the arena here. Sam Sisko's calling for the face-off at center ice between Jim McCabe and Brad Faulkner.
It's not going to get any better, John.
It certainly is not. Port Huron wins the draw. Tremblay from the red line dumps it into the Toledo zone, into the fog-filled corners behind Lindsay Middlebrook. Mario Gilinardo has it for Toledo. Up to center ice. He simply sends it onto the stick of Reed Bailey. Bailey for Port Huron. He dumps it on the far wing side for Larry Gould. Gilinardo takes Gould into the boards, and Ian McPhee has the puck. Turning dangerously in his own zone in front of the net. It's kept in by Ellicott. Jeff Allen finally comes up with it. Ahead to McPhee. A beautiful pass back to Jeff Allen. Allen over the blue line. Tries to get around the defense. His shot high over the net. Comes out to Faulkner. Faulkner into the Toledo zone. Tannardini takes it away. He sends it out for Jeff Allen. Tremblay has it. Jeff Allen tries to take it from him, but cannot. Diggers coming up with it. Paul Tannardini back to Mario Gilinardo in his own zone. Loses it in his skates and has to go back behind his own net. 13:38 remaining in this game. Back to Gilinardo. Gilinardo can't clear it. Gould is shot. It's kicked out by Middlebrook. Again by Middlebrook. Another shot kicked wide. And Middlebrook gets a standing ovation. Jim McCabe near side board to Tannardini. Tanner's shot hits the side of the net. Ballantyne has it for Port Huron as the Flags will try to start out. Faulkner up to center ice. Faulkner wheeling and dealing. His long shot blocked by Gilinardo. But Ralston has it. His backhand stopped by Mario Gilinardo. What a save.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You tell me this isn't the best game in the world?
Doug, has there ever been a hockey game called because of fog?
Well, I've seen
That's
them
in the
called.
book. I'll go for it right now.
I've seen them called for fighting, the lights going out, not enough players, but never fog. In Canada, it's always cold enough.
I know where the light switches are. 13:04 remaining in the third period, and let us not begin to do what we keep saying the Gold Diggers should not do, and that is play defensive hockey. We're going to have an all-skate again, and Wally Bouton is down there on his net, kind of relaxing, so we'll be back in a minute. This is Turner Cup Hockey. Just a moment ago, the commissioner, Bill Began, was down at the penalty box door talking with referee Sam Sisko. Sisko is now talking, there he is over there talking with the arena manager, Jerry Francis. That's Bill Began on the left and arena manager Jerry Francis on the right. I don't know what they're discussing. Doug, perhaps you can make a guess.
I think they're going to have this, what I think will happen is they're going to have the Zamboni driver come out and not flood the ice. He's just going to have it come out and just scrape it and try and scrape all the water off. That's been done a few times. I think that's what they're going to try to do.
Well, we're going to get back to action right now as we appear to be ready. The Diggers got a standing ovation from the entire crowd as they skated the fog off a moment ago.
If that doesn't get you going, nothing will, Horace.
3-1, Diggers lead, 13:02 on the clock, and we will drop it again. John?
Face off in the Toledo zone, set wide of Lindsay Middlebrook. Michelle Laurendeau in the corner, along with Ralston. It's going to be frozen immediately. 12:55 remaining. Diggers lead it. And the fans are really on top of this one. They remember 4 years ago, Doug, it was really a disappointment. It had to be for you. They couldn't win it in front of the home fans.
Yeah, it was. It was something that I think it was kind of ironic the way our team played all year. You know, we won 8 games out of 12 on the road, and I guess what will be will be. And this year it's really good for these fans. They've supported them for so long.
Michelle Laurendeau sends it on the far boards. Rissling intercepts, saved by Lindsay Middlebrook. I don't know how Lindsay saw it. He looks like a character right out of Sherlock Holmes walking down a foggy London street.
I tell you, they're going to have to do something, and I think that's what they're going to do right now, as a matter of fact. No.
As we check out our monitor here, perhaps you can't see it as well as we can here in the sports arena, but believe me, it's very difficult to see the puck and the players down in the corner.
John, it's not that bad on the ice. It looks worse from up here. Believe it or not, when you're on the ice, it's not as bad. But they got to do something about it in the next 2 or 3 minutes, because it's going to get worse.
But certainly if you're a goaltender, you want every edge you can get. You don't want to have any of that fog around. You want to be able to see the puck.
This is the time for long shots.
Talk about long shots. Mark Toffolo sends this one up to row H.
That's the longest one of the night right there. I think the guy caught it in the light booth up by the ceiling there. So we'll pause for just as soon as they stop skating down at the Toledo end, especially where Lindsay Middlebrook is. It fogs up almost immediately in both corners. Not quite as bad down at the Port Huron end of the ice.
Port Huron wins the draw. Toffolo will dump it in again. Around Lindsay Middlebrook. Near side Laurendeau. He sends it up to Fontaine. It bounces down to the Port Huron zone, and Toffolo has it. Toffolo skated off by Fontaine. He sends it into the crease, but no one there. Fine play by Lenny Fontaine. Michelle Laurendeau will have to find it. He does in the fog, and there's another stoppage of play. 12 minutes and 14 seconds remain in this one. Michelle Laurendeau, he looks a bit tired. We came over at 6 o'clock to do the live interview with Teddy Garvin in the locker room. Michelle was already getting dressed.
Him and I used to have a little contest together to see who was the first to the rink. I bet you he was here at 5:30.
He thought it was a 7:30 game, and I told him, Michelle, we're not on till 8. He says, you're kidding.
No, I think...
How do you say that in French?
Okay, he has it in his glove, and there's a stoppage of play. A minute ago, Tom Ralston, number 14, was standing in the face-off circle, and with his stick, he was pumping away a lot of water. I want to tell you, it's got to be at least a half-inch thick out there, so it seems. Back to the point, Gillinardo. His shot is deflected wide. Scully moans into the corner with Reed Bailey. Scully into the corner with Auger. In the corner, Auger has it now. He's tied up by Moans. We'll have another stoppage and a face-off.
11 minutes, 53 seconds, and the clock begins to become important here at the Sports Arena for the Toledo Gold Diggers, who are out in front 3-1.
Right now, Teddy Garvin just likely told the trainer, watch the clock. Make sure that every tick goes off that's possible. I hate to say being a clock watcher, but I bet you Tony Porowski right now is watching every stoppage, every tick, everything, you know?
Well, I know those guys in the press box, and believe me, you'll get those ticks off of there.
Shot just wide off the face-off by Jimmy McCabe. Comes out to center ice. Ian McPhee has it for the Diggers. He dumps it back into Port Huron territory. Reed Bailey takes a look. Backhands it for Les Auger, near side corner. Too far for Ellicott, and the Diggers have it at center ice again. Gillinardo shoots it in. Raleigh Bouton will stop it behind the net, and Les Auger has it. He signals for Faulkner to come out to the right side. Auger brings it out himself. Auger at the blue line. He dumps it into no man's land. Where did it go? Who knows? It's back on Gillinardo's stick. Comes out to center ice. Auger never saw it. The fog is very bad down there. Into the corner. Middlebrook can't find it. It bounced right into the crease. Middlebrook says, Cisco, hey, wait a minute, fella. I can't see it. You can't see it. Let's stop again. With 11 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
It's really kind of a shame that this has to spoil like a hockey game.
Well, they have not yet, maybe we better send a message down there, Doug. They have not yet done what you suggested.
I think they should get the Zamboni driver from Teeswater.
Water. We don't need more Teeswater.
3-1. Toledo leads 3-1. We have 11:10 on the clock, and this is Turner Cup hockey. Raleigh Bouton looking a bit like he'd rather be in the shower. He's been laying his head down right on top of the bar on the net there during these fog skates.
You don't know how heavy that equipment is, I imagine, when it gets wet.
Back in the Toledo zone. And there's a stoppage of play, and we're going to have a face-off in the opposite circle. Michelle Laurendeau arguing in there with Sam Cisco that perhaps the fog should be cleared from that end. Cisco wins the argument. Jim McCabe will stand in against Faulkner.
It'd be a shame to see a goal scored right now, John.
It certainly would, because you would hope that a championship game would not be decided on what you would call a fluke goal. Gold Diggers send it down to Port Huron's end. Toffolo over to Bannatyne. The Port Huron captain out of his own zone, looking for some help at center ice. Bannatyne from the red line dumps it into the far corner. Comes all the way out through the crease. Ellicott, backhand. It's blocked at the Digger defense. Another shot goes wide. And it comes to the near side boards and Paul Tannardini. Tanner sends it up to Jimmy McCabe at center ice. He trails for McPhee on a pretty play. McPhee's backhand goes all the way up to Eddie Rutherford at the mighty Wurlitzer. That's up in the seats, folks.
Bannatyne, I think, got a little bit of a piece of that time as Ian McPhee tried to backhand it into the net. 10:30. The clock says we are almost halfway through.
It's also 10:30 on your watch, and we want to remind you to stay tuned after the game for tonight's news. Joe Ashton, Jeff Ice, And smiling Mike Smythe. Well, we'll get a chance. While we have a bit of a delay, I'd like to thank Mike for working for us during this playoff schedule. So we've been able to cover the Diggers for you all through the playoffs. Face-off is won by Toledo. Len Fontaine, however, has it stripped from him by Michel Plant up to Gary Rissling. Far side, Gustafson goes behind the net. Middlebrook sends it around. Rissling has it. It's banged into the corner. Nathie has it up to center ice, and Reed Bailey will take it for Port Huron. Bailey back to Les Auger in his own zone. Auger up to center ice now. Long shot goes wide of the net. Comes out. Gillinardo has it. He's stepped into by Rissling. And there's going to be an icing call on this one. 10:04 remaining third period. Rissling and Gillinardo, bit of a disagreement. Sam Cisco refuses to call the penalties. So this game is remaining penalty-free.
Lindsey Middlebrook out of the net, complaining to Cisco now about the condition of the ice.
Another all skate.
Or the condition of the fog above the ice would be more correct, I guess.
Imagine how tired they are right now.
10:04, yeah, they ought to have a couple of other clubs come out there and skate around. You let them go sit down. 3-1. 3-1. I couldn't make it all the way around. Diggers are out in front. This is Turner Cup hockey.
Well, I got to have a cameraman. I want to shoot some stuff after the game.
Tell them to go in and tape it anyway.
Okay. We will stay here then.
Yeah, we're going to have the presentation.
Yeah, right.
We have a mic down there.
Here we go.
I don't have any idea how long it's going to be before we get this hockey game in. It's been quite a while, playing the last 5 minutes, as a matter of fact. It's taken us about 15 minutes because we play about 30 seconds. And then we skate off the fog for a while, and that's what they're doing right at the moment. And all they can do, really, is, other than try Doug Mahood's suggestion, which we have not been able to get down to them, is exactly what they're doing. Continue to skate, but as soon as they finish, especially down at the Toledo end, at the river end of the arena, as soon as they finish skating and line up for the face-off, the fog just comes right back again.
There's going to be a face-off in the Port Huron zone. Standing in will be Tom Ralston of Port Huron. And let's see who the Diggers send out for a forward line. They're going to send out Moans in between Scully and Eruzione. So Randy Moans will step in against Tom Ralston. Port Huron wins the draw. Les Auger behind his own net. The Digger fans pick up the chant, "Go Diggers go," as they keep it in. Auger has to get it behind his own net. Up for Henderson along the near boards. At the point, Allen a shot, and Bouton makes the save. And Les Auger almost put it in his own net. But Port Huron comes out with it. Tom Ralston ahead to Archie Henderson. Henderson simply dumps it in onto the stick of Gillinardo. Cleared but not out. Goes behind the net. Middlebrook has to send it into the corner. Through the slot. This is Henderson. He shoots wide. Eruzione got a stick on it. And it comes out to Scully on the far board. He can't knock it out. He finally does. But Les Auger is there for the Port Huron Flags. Tom Ralston circling in his own zone at the red line. A long shot off the stick of Randy Moan. Jeff Allen to Tannerdini. Bannatyne's shot taken away by Gillinardo. Ahead for Barry Scully at center ice. Scully. He sends it ahead for Tannerdini. It's knocked away by Reed Bailey. But Scully somehow gets it back to McCabe. To Tannerdini. Saved by Raleigh Bouton. Oh, my goodness.
Tanner just couldn't find the trigger on it. He got the puck stopped, but he couldn't get the shot off. I don't know if I wouldn't have taken that shot myself rather than pass it off.
Yeah.
Was about as good either way.
I never made a mistake from up here, Horace.
That's true. I never made a mistake down there either, because I've never been down there.
Diggers keep it in off the faceoff. Jim Bannatyne behind his own net. He'll start the Port Huron Flags out. Gets it to Ellicott on the far side. The left wing boards. Ellicott's long shot. Middlebrook a glove save. He drops it for Michelle Lorando. Lorando loses it in the fog in the back corner. 40 Huron comes up with it. Out at center ice. And Tannerdini knocks it to center ice.
Another all skate.
Where Brent Tremblay takes it. And you're right, Doug, we are going to have another fog bank rolled in front of the net where you don't want it. So that's one of the concerns of Lindsay Middlebrook.
It'd be a shame to let a cheap goal make this game close right now.
Absolutely. Jim Bannatyne's long shot stopped by Middlebrook. Lorando behind his own net. Ahead for Horvath. Back to Lorando and back to Horvath as the Diggers try to move it out of their own zone. They do. Goes all the way down the ice where Brent Tremblay will pick it up behind his own net. Let's play in this end for a while, guys. We don't have nearly as much fog. Over to Bannatyne from 40 Huron as the flags start out. They look like a mighty tired bunch. Bannatyne's long shot kicked out by Middlebrook. Into the near corner. Tannerdini clears it out to center ice. Jim McCabe has it for the Diggers. McCabe, his shot goes into the corner as it goes off the stick of Les Auger. Reed Bailey stops behind his own net, waiting for his teammates to set up. Larry Gould, far side. His shot. Middlebrook the save. Can't control it. But Lorando is right there. He backhands it into center ice. And Lorando is now talking to Sam Cisco, saying we better stop and wear it down a bit. This fog, that is. Up at center ice. Fontaine with the puck. Open wing to Joe Nathy. Nathy takes it in. Nathy on the far side. His shot hits the side of the net. Fontaine in there with Les Auger. They freeze the puck, and there'll be a stoppage of play with 7:03 remaining. The Diggers lead it 3-1.
Once again, the fog is gone. I think the fan is stopping down there, too, to make matters even worse. The fan to the right of goalie Lindsay Middlebrook appears to have the plug appears to have been pulled or something. It's stopping. Hopefully somebody's going to get on it and get it started again, but we're going to do an all skate once more.
Joe Nathy skating down that way, going to the glass and telling the fans, let's go, let's turn that thing on. While we have a chance, let's take this time out. We'll be back in a moment. This is Turner Cup Hockey. Morris will go down. Doug and I will wrap it up, and then we'll join him down there.
This is one of the fans they want on. There are also some fans located up in the crow's nest at the far end of the arena, at the river end of the arena, that they've been asked to turn off. Apparently, somebody who is a thermal engineer has decided that that is not helping the situation. There are a couple of fans that are kind of bored and looking around and getting thrilled about which fan is blowing what where.
I think they're resting for the party, Horace.
Yeah, they've turned off one of the fans. The other one is still going strong, I think perhaps because there is no one in that crow's nest, if we may call it that. They turned one of them off. Let's see what happens if that helps out.
Hey, there's a good shot of Lindsay Middlebrook. We haven't seen him for a while.
Super goaltender.
He has played well, several point-blank stops.
You can tell when they're going to stop play when the fog gets up to Lindsay's chest.
That would make it what, about
7 inches?
Means it's about knee high. Yeah.
I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him.
Face off. 40 Huron takes it in their own zone. Jim Bannatyne. He's wheeling out, looking for some help. Bannatyne at center ice. Dumps it into the Toledo corner on the far side of Lindsay Middlebrook. Paul Nicholson has it, but it's taken away by Vachon and sent all the way back to the Toledo bench. Kept in by Bannatyne behind the net. Who's controlling it? Nicholson sends it out front. Bannatyne has it. He tees it up. And all he got was a stick full of water. I want to tell you, it looked like a 2.5 gainer.
That's a shame.
Barry Scully skating down in front of the Port Huron zone, bench. He also went through a lot of water.
He hurt himself. He's out.
I think there's cement on the one side down there, Horace.
Moan shot goes high over the net. It's in front of the Port Huron bench. Bannatyne tries to clear it, and it goes into the bench, and there's a stoppage of play. I want to tell you, you perhaps can't see it at home. You see how shiny the ice looks. You can see the reflection of the lights overhead. That's got to be about a 1/4 inch of water on the ice that is doing that reflecting.
There's some spots that look like they might be concrete showing through too down there.
Yeah, I think Barry Scully hurt himself on a spot just down by the Diggers blue line. I know Port Huron's biggest excuse is going to be if they lose the game. Look at the ice we had to play on. That'll be the biggest complaint by the coach, the manager, all the players, and I really can't blame them.
Lindsay has disappeared again.
Give him a red light on top of his helmet.
Okay, with 6:02 remaining in this hockey game, Michel Plante down the near side boards, skated off by Nathy. Horvath sends it around. It goes into the slot. Who's got it? Rissling and Horvath into the corner, along with Sullivan. They bump. Port Huron still has the puck. Centered into the slot, but Nathy kicks it out. Fontaine chasing it. Fontaine with Auger. It heads for Nathy. Nathy into Sullivan. Bobby Sullivan.
Fontaine, Nathy, and Sullivan gets the goal.
It's a super play, And it just looked like Joe was so tired he wasn't even going to pass it, Horace. Now watch this. Honey Fontaine really makes a play here. He digs hard to beat OJ to the puck. He just tips it. Now Joe has it. Nice, easy pass, and it's in. Thank you. That's all she wrote.
You got to give a lot of credit to Sullivan, too. He didn't panic when he got the puck all alone out in front with
Here we go.
Clinching goal. Yes, sir. Horvath is really happy out there giving the big hand slap to Allen. And the Diggers are delighted. Goodbye and have a nice summer goes the signs up. Some of them around the arena, and the Digger fans are on their feet and applauding wildly, waving their arms. The entire arena is on their feet with the exception of a small crowd of Port Huron fans who obviously and rightfully so are upset because their heroes are down at the moment and not much time left. 4-1 is the score, 5:34 remaining.
Believe it or not, if I was to pick a star of the game tonight, I'd have to pick Joe Nathy. A big goal, and a nice assist there. He's really played well. He's really come out of his slump at the right time.
You know, another fellow I'd like to mention is Bobby Sullivan. You know, Bobby has not had a good series. For the last 10 games, Bob Sullivan has really not scored well. Only his 3rd goal of the playoffs. And do you remember, Doug, 4 years ago when you were playing, another fella who sort of paralleled this was Craig Stamp. He was set down by Ted Garvin in the final game and came on and responded. Bobby Sullivan, I think Ted was going to sit him down, but Bobby Sullivan, very big part of this victory tonight.
What a feeling it is for them right now. I know exactly how it feels.
5:34 says the clock. That's how long the Toledo Gold Diggers are away from their 2nd Turner Cup championship. Here under the tutelage of head coach Ted Garvin. 4-1 is the score. The Diggers get goals from Sullivan, Scully, Tansardini, and Nathy tonight. OJ with a tip off his skate, getting the lone goal for the Flags.
It's really ironic that the line that Teddy Garvin was worried about not producing is come up with 2 big goals. Joe got the 1st goal, and then Sully's got the 4th all-important goal. Everybody comes through when you need them.
Diggers win the face-off, send it down into Port Huron territory. Brent Tremblay has it, brings it out to center ice. Brent Tremblay dumps it into the fog. Middlebrook tips it away onto the stick of Francois Vachon. Around on the boards, Ellicott steps into Tannardini. Bannatyne shot goes off Giulianardo. Ellicott in the corner, sends it into the slot, but Vachon is there to send it around to Ian McPhee. Ian McPhee, far side for Tannardini. Here we go, Tannardini. His shot, Bhutan, the stand-up save. Power against power, and Tannardini is shut out. Tanner has one of the 4 goals tonight, so he's not too unhappy. Port Huron coming right back. Ellicott sends it in to Larry Gould. Back on the point. Tremblay's shot. It goes high over the net. Ellicott, his backhand. Score, Brian Ellicott. Out of the fog and out of nowhere.
And along with that, we're going to have a penalty. That'll wave it off, though.
Paul Tannardini was going to get the penalty.
Yeah.
And they waved it off.
So do we, that does not qualify officially as a penalty, so we're going, I was just going to mention, we still have not had that first penalty.
Right between Lindsay's pads.
Not much you can do there.
4:38. 4-2 now. And don't go away, folks, because you remember up at Fort Huron the other night when the flags exploded for 3 goals in 42 seconds. However, I think the atmosphere of that game was a little bit different than the one we have now, principally because of the problem that's going on right at the moment, and that is skating the fog off here on the ice. Ted Garvin down there talking to Paul Tannardini.
He's just like telling Tanner, come on, Paul, relax. It's a big game. Play your game. No stupid penalties.
4:38 remaining. 4-2. Driggers lead. This is Turner Cup hockey. Tigers and the Saturday afternoon, Tigers and the Red Sox.
Port Huron sends it down into the Toledo zone. Laurindeau can't clear it. This is Faulkner. Backhand score. Faulkner. Uh-oh. I don't like what I see.
And all of a sudden, with 3:58 remaining in the hockey game, it's right back to that 1-goal difference again. The Driggers were out in front by a couple of goals. It looked like they could coast home. And all of a sudden, now it's a 4-3 game. Actually, by 3 goals. Look pretty safe. With 3:58 remaining, and the flag fans, the few that there are here at the two corners of the arena, have come to life. But now the Digger fans say, hang on.
To Dave Faulkner, goal number 11 in the playoffs. And it's a 1-goal game. Ian McPhee off the faceoff, dumps it into the Port Huron zone. The Diggers, once again, cannot afford to play defense. They have to be active in this game. Aruzioni almost tipped one home, and Bhutan is right there to kick it away. It's pumped to center ice. Gillenardo has it for Toledo. He backhands it into the Port Huron zone, where Bannatyne will have it for Port Huron. Ahead to Gould. Kicked away from him by McPhee. He'll chase. Number 7, Brent Tremblay, back into the zone. Bannatyne up at center ice. He dumps it into the corner. Vachon around, off the board. Out to center ice as it hops over the stick of Larry Gould. Jim Bannatyne, 3:16 remaining. 4-3 game, Toledo. Over into the Toledo zone. It's cleared by Vachon as the Diggers keep it out. Bannatyne will set his flag teammates up once again. He sends it to his assistant captain, Larry Gould. Gould looking for help. Finally takes it over the line. McCabe goes into the corner. So does Gillenardo. McCabe has the puck ahead of Nathy. Nathy brings it out to center ice as Port Huron changed defenseman. Over for Sullivan. Near sideboard. Sullivan at center ice. Drops it for McCabe. McCabe sends it to Vachon. Vachon in his own zone. Backhand. It goes on Gould's stick. Gould looking for a man breaking in. That's Ralston. It's blocked on a sliding save by Laurindeau and knocked down the ice. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this one. Icing on the part of the Toledo Gold Diggers, and we'll take it all the way down next to Lindsay Middlebrook. And we're also going to skate to clear the fog.
Just to straighten it out as I stumbled around a minute ago, 2:27 remaining, Diggers 4-3. On the baseball, we'll have the Tigers and the Red Sox on at 7:30 on Friday night, and also Saturday afternoon at 2:15. Interesting thing with the Tigers and the Red Sox in their battle for first place in the American League. the Tigers are out in front by about 5 percentage points and behind by a half game, which you do not see too often in Major League Baseball, but that's because Boston has played a number more games than the Tigers and have a number more wins. But the Tigers have the better percentage by about 5 percentage points, but still are a half game behind. 2:27 is the time on the clock. 4-3 is the score. We're in the third period. And I don't know what we're going to do, fellas, if we have to play overtime in this game. Heaven forbid. They may have to call it off until tomorrow or something.
Next fall.
Or move it up to Chinook, Ontario. There is such a place. There must be a Chinook, Ontario. Yeah.
It's about 2 miles south of Teeswater.
Oh, now we're getting the phone numbers.
Hey?
They can hear this up in Teeswater, you know.
Poor people.
They can't see it, but they can hear it.
Face off down in the Toledo zone. Huron comes up with it. Nicholson sends it around the boards for Bannatyne. Bannatyne sends it through the crease. No one there, and Nathy has it. He'll send it all the way down the ice. Icing will be on again, and we're going to have a face-off down in front of Lindsay Middlebrook.
That's exactly what Ted Garvin did not want, John. The best, I know, it's easy for me to stand here and say what they should do, but I know Teddy wants them just to get it out. Now, the icing gives Port Huron a chance to draw, and that's an offensive play to some teams. And Michel Plante is good on the draws. They got Nicholson, who's got the best shot in the league, in the slot. It's a bad play.
Plus, Lindsay Middlebrook still has to be bothered a bit by that fog. And that can't help. Draw goes to Toledo. Horvath behind his own net. He takes a stick full of water, can't clear it. In the deep corner. Tannadini finally has it. Can he clear it? It's finally cleared by Tannadini.
2 minutes.
At center ice. Ralston, he sends it down behind Middlebrook. Morando sends it around the boards. Bannatyne keeps it in. It's tipped away by Middlebrook. Nathy tries to clear it. He's stepped into by Nicholson. They push and shove. Is the puck coming loose? It's still being bounced around. Finally whistled dead by Sam Cisco. And that water really has to be bad around the net.
Certainly. 1:36 on the clock as it continues to tick down, and the Diggers, despite being only 1 goal up, are pretty much in a defensive configuration right at the moment. Don't you feel that way, Doug, or do you not?
Yes, definitely. They're just trying to get
And
the puck out.
should they be?
Certainly. You don't want to take a chance now. You got a 1-goal lead. They've made a couple of mistakes. I think Teddy's telling them we're not out of it. You know, keep going. We're ahead. But the water is it's bad for both teams. It's hard for them to get it out. It's hard for Port Huron to make an offensive play.
Well, it's only fitting that the game should be 1 goal apart, so close, because this whole series has been so close. The whole playoff series between these two clubs has been close. As I recall, I think they both won their first 2, their quarterfinal and semifinal series.
Here comes the cup.
4-1. Yeah, it is.
Geez, the champagne tastes good out of that, John.
There's Jimmy Welch. He has it in the penalty box.
I remember 4 years ago when we won that, we always thought the cup was a little wee thing. When they brought that out, my mouth dropped about a foot, I think. I couldn't believe the size of it.
You said, son of a gun, fill that thing up with beer, huh?
Oh, no, champagne. When you win, you drink champagne. When you lose, you drink beer.
I understand they got the good stuff down in the locker room, 59 cents a bottle.
Oh, well, we'll be there.
All right.
I'll buy the first round.
1:36 remaining on the clock. That's how far away from the Turner Cup Championship the Toledo Gold Diggers are. They lead 4-3. We're in the third and final period. We hope it is the third and final period. Stay tuned for the news coming up following the hockey game.
It's so close, but yet so far.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the clock for you right now as Toledo wins the faceoff. Faulkner going in with Gillinardo. It's immediately frozen. 1 minute 30 seconds remaining in this hockey game. Regulation time, I should mention.
If you notice now, Teddy Garvin has not put, Barry Scully or Randy Moens have not been on the ice the last, I'd say, 2 or 3 shifts. He's going with the players he thinks are the best defensive hockey players. He figures he's got enough goals now to win it, and he's playing with the guys he thinks are defensive-minded, but you never know.
Ian McPhee finally digs it out of the water, sends it near side for Ruzioni. His shot goes behind the net. Gould and McPhee, they tied up along the far boards with Bannatyne, but Gould comes up with it. He digs it out of the water, ahead to Ralston. Ralston
on
over
the
the
goalie.
blue line. Fort Huron brings the
pulled the goalie.
goaltender out, so they get the sixth attacker.
Get it out,
McPhee
Ian.
sends it out to center ice. And Fort Huron will have to reset.
1 minute.
Too far for Gould. We're in the final minute. Jeff Allen can't clear.
Here we go.
Mike Ruzioni dumps it to center ice. This is Faulkner. He tries a long pass. Ralston has it go off his stick. Henderson can't keep it in. Jim McCabe has it at center ice. Gould backhands it. Jeff Allen shoots it out to center ice.
What a break. What a break.
Remaining. Bannatyne behind his own empty net. Fort Huron sets up once again. Out at center ice, Gilinardo sends it offside into the Fort Huron zone. There's going to be a face-off out here at center ice. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
You tell me there's not a better game than this, Jen? Better. This is the best sport in the world.
Are you a little prejudiced about that, Doug? Right at the moment, I'll agree with you, because I happen to feel that the best sport in the world is the one I'm enjoying right at the moment.
Oh, it's the best sport in the world.
And this is it right now. 29 seconds on the clock. 4-3. Diggers in front. The crowd is on their feet.
This is fantastic. You can feel the energy.
The net is wide open to our left, that being the Fort Huron end. Now skating down in front of it is Larry Gould, and out comes the goalie now. Boutin is way out.
He will skate off
the goal
immediately.
crease to get closer to his bench. And should the Diggers get the puck, he just might stay, but should the Flags get it, he'll be heading directly for the bench without passing go.
Fontaine wins the draw, they win the game.
Michel Plante is in there to stop it. Draw comes to Toledo. Horvath dumps it in behind the red line. Jim Bannatyne for Fort Huron.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Ruzioni keeps it in. Mike Ruzioni has
17,
it. Backhand
16,
to Joe Nathan.
15.
Into the corner. He stops with Bannatyne. It's going to be frozen there with 11 seconds. 10 seconds now.
Oh!
10
Here we
seconds
go.
remaining.
And the Digger fans beginning to taste victory as the streamers come out on the ice, and Joe Nathan screaming back up them, keep that stuff where it is. We've got to finish this hockey game. They have been burned before in their long careers as hockey players, and they are not about to concede anything until that final 10 seconds ticks off of that clock. 4-3. The fog coming up again down, and we've had an absence of it for a while, but it's coming up again down at the far end of the arena. Up 9 now. The clock is running down. Wait a minute. Now there are 29 minutes left.
I believe Sam Cisco stopped the clock with 12 seconds. It ran down inadvertently to 10, so that's the time remaining, 12 seconds.
Yeah, well, in all fairness, you just cannot hear the whistle with the kind of noise that's going on in this crowd.
Fort Huron making last-minute plans. They're standing over in front of Wally Boutin.
This is unbelievable.
Stay tuned. Immediately following the game, we're going to have the cup presentation. And we certainly hope
Tell Horace to take his rubbers, will you?
that the Turner Cup will stay right here in Toledo. I notice over in the penalty box area, Jim Welch is standing guard. And there are about 3 or 4 uniformed officers. They're also keeping the security.
The finer ones at Toledo.
Toledo's finest. We expect a full-blown celebration here tonight at the sports arena.
Nothing on but the stereo, John. Oh, look at this. This is super for every guy in this team. It's a moment you're never going to forget.
Now they're going to call for the face-off to the left of Raleigh Boutin. It's going to be Fontaine in against Michel Plante once again.
It's It's kind of ironic that Joe Napier, after playing so bad, Teddy's got him out here at the end of the game.
I believe that's a tremendous tribute to Joe Napier. Lorendo, backhand, Fontaine, he fans on it, but
5,
Lorendo
4,
has it.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Woo!
The Driggers win the Turner Cup. The Driggers win the Turner Cup. Here we go. What a mob down at the Toledo goal. They are enjoying every moment of it, as well they should. A fine group of guys who midway through the season were not playing altogether that well, came back to win it. And for the second time in 4 years, Doug Mallood, the Turner Cup is in Toledo.
That's Mr. Garvin's Cup, I guess you got to call it.
I'm going to let you people enjoy what you are seeing right now, the culmination of a long, hard season.
That's unbelievable. That's the greatest feeling in the world. I hope they get this on film.
Ted Garvin shaking hands with Ron Elliott as you see the Turner Cup, guarded by business manager Jim Welch.